Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 3 of the Chicago Cubs franchise here on MLB The Show 22, where we have our first home series at Wrigley Field as the Chicago Cubs are playing host to the St. Louis Cardinals to begin the episode. Cardinals 3-1 to start the season, while the Chicago Cubs are the opposite at 1-3 as we have our first 2 home series. We'll see 2 games today, so if you're excited for that one and this whole episode and series, make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. Justin Steele will be on the mound for this game against the St. Louis Cardinals. This is game 2 of a quick 2-game set against our division rivals. Cardinals won game 1 last episode 5-3. Tommy Edman will lead off for St. Louis, and on a full count fastball, he will pop it up into center field for the first out of the day. We'll take a look at the St. Louis Cardinals lineup. You'll see Paul DeJong up next, followed by Paul Goldschmidt, the first baseman, and Nolan Arenado at the other corner. Dylan Carlson in right field, Tyler O'Neill, DH Albert Pujols. Remember, he returned to St. Louis this year. That's a great story. Yadimir Molina and Harrison Bader. Next, Paul DeJong up next. First pitch he seizes the fastball and he rips it to left center, and this one clears the wall. A solo shot for St. Louis here in the top of the first. The Cardinals jump out to a quick 1-0 lead thanks to the 378-foot shot to left center for Paul DeJong's first home run of the season, and the Cardinals jump ahead 1-0. Next batter up, Paul Goldschmidt, 0-1 pitch, and he bloops this one into shallow right field. Madrigal lies out for it, and he can't throw him out at first base. It was close. David Ross thought about challenging, and he did not. And to make matters worse, Madrigal is actually hurt on the play, so Angel and Simmons will have to come in second base for the rest of the day. So with Goldschmidt on first, here's Arenado, who chops it back to the pitcher's mound, and Steele tried to go to second, instead throws the ball into the outfield. This has turned into an ugly inning for Justin Steele. That's it, a E1. And now runners are on second and third with 1 out for Dylan Carlson, who's off to a rough start to his season, and he goes down the inside slider, so a big strikeout from Steele. Puts now 2 away for Tyler O'Neill, and he will also strike out, so Steele gets out of the jam despite surrendering the solo shot. On the mound for the Cardinals today will be Dakota Hudson, making his second appearance of the season. Had a very, very good game 1 of his season, almost 1 out away from a complete game. Got the win, though, nonetheless. And now Andrelton Simmons will lead off for Chicago. It's going to be Nick Madrigal, but with the injury, Simmons leads off, and he strikes out to begin Chicago's day. Next up, Nico Hoerner gets a 1-1 sinker, and this is going to bloop into right center for a base hit. That brings up Frank Schwindel up next. 1-2 pitch, chops it over to second base. Will also be an easy 4-6-3 double play, and Chicago doesn't get anything. We'll go bottom 3 now with the Cubs. Here's the former Met Jonathan Villar up at the plate, and he draws a leadoff walk to begin the bottom of the third. Takes us back to the top of the lineup. Andrelton Simmons up next. 2-1 pitch, reaches for a slider, but smacks it into center field for a base hit. However, VR got a little greedy and gets caught trying to go back to second. A bad base running mishap for the Cubs. As now it's 1 out for Nico Hoerner up next. Nice sinker, and he's going to put it into right center, but it's going to be caught out there in center by Bader. So now 2 away for Frank Schwindel. 1-1 pitch. He drills this one into right center. This one's going to get down in the gap. Runner is going. Already at third. Hustling home is Simmons, and he is going to beat the throw as the Cubs tied up at 1 apiece. Could take the lead if it weren't for the base running miscue, but thanks to an RBI double from Schwindel, it's 1-1. Next batter up will strike out as Wisdom couldn't catch up to it. And we're going to jump later into this one in the 5th inning now as Steele only went 4. David Robertson, the former Tampa Bay Ray, will come in relief. Already had 3 appearances in the young season. He'll begin the 5th inning against Harrison Bader, who is 0 for 1 today, thanks to the ground out in the 2nd. His 1-2 pitch grounds over to Hoerner at short, who will throw him out at first base. Quick 1 away. Next batter up top of the order, Tommy Edman, and he will draw a walk. Cutter doesn't catch the edge of the zone, so that'll put him on first base. Paul DeJong up next. Already went yard once. Will strike out on the knuckle curve. So Robertson fans 2 batters. And then next up, Paul Goldschmidt will also strike out. Nice inning of work by Robertson. Gets 2 of the 3 to strike out. We're going to go bottom 5 now. Wilson Contreras at the plate. Dakota Hudson still in the ball game. As here's a 3-1 slider cutting away. It's going to be flied out into center as both offenses start to struggle. Next batter up, Jonathan Villar. First pitch, tries to lay down a bunt. This one's right in front of the pitcher, and he will throw VR out at first. Nice attempt, but even better play by Hudson. It's now 2 away for the top of the lineup. Andrelton Simmons up next, takes a sinker, and he slaps this one to center field. So the second center field base hit for Simmons today. That'll put him on first for Hoerner, who gets a first pitch slider and bloops it into right field. There's actually a diving miss by Carlson, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. Runner is going to come all the way around and score. That is going to be an RBI triple for Hoerner, and the Cubs take a 2-1 lead thanks to the miss by Carlson to right. Next up, Frank Schwindel. First pitch swinging gets jammed on a fastball. This is going to be into shallow right center where Bader will put it away, but the Cubs have their first lead of the day. Next inning, Brandon Waddell will come in out of the pen for the Cardinals, making his third appearance, is yet to surrender an earned run, 4 strikeouts in 2 1/3 innings so far. First batter he faces is Patrick Wisdom, who golfs a fastball to left center, and just like that, Waddell will give up his first run of the season. A solo shot by Patrick Wisdom into left center, and the Cubs go up 3-1. Next inning, Cody HEUER will come in relief in the 7th for the Chicago Cubs. He's had a rough start to the season, just like all of our bullpen has. First batter he faces is Albert Pujols, and Pujols jacks one to left field. No doubt about this one. The 3-time NL MVP with a solo shot for the Cardinals. Home run number 680 in his career. Boy, is it good to see Pujols back in a Cardinals uniform. Not good for us tonight, but it just looks so sweet. Cardinals chip into our lead, cut it in half. It is now 3-2 in favor of the Cubs. We're going to the 8th inning here, where Chris Martin will come out of the pen for a setup spot. If you remember in the last episode, same position, had a 3-run lead in the 8th and gave it up to the Reds. First batter he faces is Paul DeJong. First pitch, DeJong drills one to deep center. This ball is carrying, and this one's going to clear the wall. A solo shot for Paul DeJong, his 2nd home run of the day. And just like in opening day, Chris Martin blows the save in the 8th. I don't know what's gotten into the former Brave, but he's had a very rough start to his season. Cardinals tied up at 3 apiece. 2 batters later, Nolan Arenado is going to single into center, so Martin's day is not done. That's the go-ahead runner now on first base. Next up, Dylan Carlson. 1-2 pitch will not connect on the high fastball, so Martin sets him down, and then he sets O'Neill down. So nice recovery, but once more, our bullpen blows a lead. Rowan Witt will come in into the 9th inning. This is not a save opportunity. He is our closer this year, despite only having 5 saves last year. But he's going to get his first inning of work since he was already warming up in the bullpen. First batter he faces Albert Pujols, we just saw go yard, and he's going to single to start the 9th into left field. And Ian Happ will throw a bad throw that rolls into the dugout. I don't know what that was, but now Pujols is on second base. 1 away for Harrison Bader, who draws a walk, so that'll put runners on first and second. Next up, Tommy Edman, and he will get plunked on the back. So Wick now loads the bases, 1 away, and it's Paul DeJong. We've already seen him go yard twice. 1-2 pitch to DeJong. He rips it into left field. This one's going to be caught by Happ, but Pujols will tag. Not very fast, but he will beat the throw, and the Cardinals take the lead 4-3 in the 9th. Our bullpen blows it again. Still got to get the next batter out, and he will as Goldschmidt gets fanned. But now it's a save opportunity for the Cardinals, and Giovanni Gallegos will step in for St. Louis. Already 2 for 2 on save opportunities this year. He has been pretty dominant in those 2 performances. First batter facing the bottom of the 9th is Jonathan Villar, who is 0 for 2 on the day and make it 0 for 3. Can't connect on the very high fastball. That would have been ball 4. Andrelton Simmons up next, who's 2 for 4. Will pop up a circle change into shallow left. DeJong will have that one. That is out number 2, and it's going to leave it up to Nico Hoerner, excuse me. The game is on the line. He is 3 for 4 on the day, triple, 2 singles, and a ribby. So this is who you want at the plate in this situation. 1-0 pitch to Hoerner. It's a changeup grounded over to third base. Arenado has it and throws him out at first base. That'll end this ball game. The Cardinals sneak back and win this one by a final score of 4-3. And once again, our bullpen blows a late lead, and we drop to 1-4 to begin the young season. Not what you'd like to see. The bullpen, obviously an issue early as Witt gets the loss. Win goes to Waddle, and save goes to Gallegos, and DeYoung obviously gets player of the game. But we had another chance to win this one late, so we blew it, and instead we get swept in 2 games by the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, we did find out Nick Madrigal just has lower back pain, so he will not miss that much time. He'll miss about a day or 2. And we have our first trades of the season. The Colorado Rockies get active to begin the year. They make a couple of trades, starting off with sending prospect Helcris Olivares to the Pirates for center fielder Greg Allen. So it looks like trying to add a bat in the outfield. Not a big-time trade, but Allen does have some Major League experience. Had a pretty good 2021 with the Yankees in limited appearances. And the second one, they sent Jonathan Daza to the Blue Jays. So it looks like the Rockies just wanted a new center fielder. So they move on from Daza. Very interesting calls. Daza had a very good season with Colorado last year. But they pick up a reliever in Adam Simber, who immediately becomes their best arm in the bullpen. So I see why the Rockies did it, and I commend them for being aggressive early in the season. Next half of the episode, we have a 4-game home set against the Milwaukee Brewers. I didn't want to play game 1 because we've already pitched with Stroman, but we get a critical situation. We have a 1-0 lead in the 9th inning. Rowan Wick with a save opportunity, so we're going to jump into this one to see if he can get it done. He has a runner on second and gets Kane 2 strikeouts. That's 1 away. Next up, Christian Yelich will look at strike 3, so Wick, nice back-to-back strikeouts. Just needs 1 more out to get his first save of the season. It is Hunter Renfroe stepping into the batter's box, 0 for 3 on the day. 0-1 pitch to Renfroe. He chops it over to first base. That's going to get into the outfield. Runner's going to round third and come home. Throw is offline, and once again, the Cubs blow a lead in the late innings. Brewers tied up at 1 apiece. That's a blown save for Wick. So that ends the situation, and we do, though, go on to win, thankfully, as we simulate the rest of the game. We win 2-1 in 10th thanks to Suzuki's go-ahead hits, as he had a game winner. That's what you like to see. That's why you're paying him that 5-year contract. So we do take game 1. I did want to play game 2, as it'll be Hendricks going against Peralta of the Brewers in a pretty solid pitching matchup as we stay here at home. Your Cubs now sitting at 2-4. The Brewers sitting at 4-3. So took game 1. We like to take game 2 of the series. Kyle Hendricks will get the nod on the mound. He had a very good opening start against the Reds despite getting the no decision. He went 6 strong innings with only 1 earned run given up. Up first for the Brewers will be Colton Wong, who are wearing their road alternates. I love these uniforms for the Brewers, by the way. First pitch to Wong. He chops it right over to second base. Simmons once again is at the second base position since Madrigal is still dealing with that back pain. He throws out Wong after a little bit of a bobble, as we'll take a look at the Brewers lineup. Next up will be Lorenzo Cain, followed by Christian Yelich, who's having a very good bounce-back season. Hunter Renfroe, who's been struggling so far for the Brewers, 6 for 30 on the year. Then we'll see Willy Adames, Omar Narvaez, Luis Urias, Keston Hiura, and Andrew McCutchen. Next batter here is Lorenzo Cain. He's going to also ground out to Simmons. This time Simmons doesn't have any problems with it. That's 2 away. Christian Yelich up next. 2-2 pitch. Chops it right behind the second base bag, right into the shift. And the Brewers go down 1-2-3. On the mound for them will be Freddie Peralta, who, just like Hendricks, had a very good first game of the season. 1 earned run in 6 innings with no decision as well. So almost identical numbers. Here is Andrelton Simmons to lead off, up to a 188 start. Not what you'd like to see. 2-2 pitch to Simmons, and he apparently goes around on the check swing. I don't like that call at all, but Peralta gets the first strikeout of the day. Nico Horner then goes down looking, another questionable call. So already not very happy with the umpire is David Ross, but this time you can't defend that one. Schwindel just strikes out swinging, and Peralta gets the first 3 batters to go down. In the top of the second inning, here is Omar Narvaez with 2 away, sending 1-2 straight away center for a solo shot. And just like that, another home run given up by the Chicago Cubs rotation, as that has been a weakness so far. Brewers take a quick lead in this one, this time up 1-0. We'll go into the bottom of the third now. Wilson Contreras at the plate. 0-71 start. Not what you'd like to see, as he takes a curveball right off of Peralta's legs, but unfortunately that bats the ball down. He is thrown out at first base. Jonathan Villar up next. Swings and misses on the high fastball. Peralta dealing so far through 2 2/3. Simmons up next. Hits this one up the middle. This time it does not hit Peralta's legs, and that is going to be a single into center. The first hit of the ball game for the Cubs. Nico Horner up next. 2-1 is late on the fastball, popped up into right side of the infield, and the Cubs get nothing in the third. We go to top 4. Lorenzo Cain leading off this inning, and he belts a curveball deep to left center. No doubt about that one. Another solo shot given up by this pitching staff as Lorenzo Cain hits .424 for his first home run of the season. And we continue to be victims of giving up the long ball, and the Brewers extend their lead now 2-0. We'll go also in the top of the 4th still. 2 outs now for Willy Adames as he keeps the inning alive with a single up the middle into center field. And I'll bring up Omar Narvaez, who did go yard earlier, and he gets a full count pitch, drills it to right field, but this one's going to die out. But the Brewers now have a 2-0 lead. We'll go deeper now, top 7, as this one is kind of turned into a pitcher's duel, as Hendricks still on the mound, so settling down nicely in the past few innings. He gets Narvaez to ground out. Luis Urias up next will draw a walk on a close pitch. Once again, very questionable call that goes against Chicago. Runner now, though, on first base for Keston Hiura, who lines it right over to Simmons. Nice knockdown. Only gets 1 at second, but shouldn't have got anybody, and that's why he is an elite defender. Next up, Andrew McCutchen will ground right to Simmons, who has a jumping throw to throw him out, and Simmons flashes the defense, and Hendricks goes 7 strong. Speaking of starting pitching going strong, Freddie Peralta's still in the bottom of the 7th, and Frank Schwindel will lead off for Chicago, who is 0 for 2 on the day, and he slaps one up the middle for a base hit. That is only the 2nd base hit for Chicago today, as Peralta's really had a dominant day. And speaking of Peralta, that's actually going to be it. He only goes 6 1/3 shutout innings, and Justin Topa will come in out of the pen for Milwaukee, making his 3rd appearance on the season. And he gets the next 3 batters to go down, as this is a high fly ball by Happ to deep right field, but it's going to die on the warning track, so nothing comes of the lead-off hit. Well, I'll go top 8 here. Jesse Chavez will come in out of the pen for Chicago, making his 3rd appearance of the season, 7.71 ERA, as that continues our trend with our bullpen struggling. And speaking of bullpen struggling, here's a leadoff hit to deep right field over the glove out there in right field, and that is going to be a leadoff double for Colton Wong. Next batter up, Lorenzo Cain, though, shoots it over to first base. Schwindel has it, will glove him and throw him out, but Wong moves to 3rd. And that's for Christian Yelich up next. He chops this one over to 3rd base. Nice glove by Wisdom, throws him out. Runner kept at 3rd base, and they need a base hit to bring him home, and Renfroe will walk. So not going to bring the runner home, but we'll put another runner on base for Willy Adames, who gets an 0-1 sinker and just pops it up to 2nd base. So nice bounce back from Chavez, and it's still 2-0. We'll go bottom 8, where Josh Hader will come in out of the pen for the Brewers. He is their closer. This is not a closing situation just yet, unless he wants to go 2 innings, as he was 34 for 35 last year. Rafael Ortega will lead off the bottom of the 8th for Chicago, and he gets a 2-2 fastball and can't connect. Bats have been ice cold today, as Hader, another dominant pitcher, comes in and gets the first 2, swing another fastball that cannot be hit by Contreras. And then VR up next, 1-1, hits a liner right over to first base. A 1-2-3 inning against the Cubs. We'll go top 9, where Jesse Chavez stays in the ball game and gives up another deep shot off of the scoreboard in right. That's about halfway up. A solo shot for Omar Narvaez, his 2nd of the day, as we give up another multi-home run day to a batter and give up another home run, specifically out of the bullpen. Brewers now up 3-0. Next batter up, Luis Urias will take a 1-2 pitch and hit this one deep into the right center gap, and Chavez is having some struggles. This one's going to get up against the ivy, and that's going to be a double for Milwaukee, as that puts Luis Urias on 2nd. Keston Hiura up next will rip one to left. Thankfully, Ian Happ is playing deep. He will make the catch, but they'll tag on the short field, as Happ doesn't have the strongest arm. So runner now on 3rd base. And the Cubs are going to bring in Chris Martin. I don't know if this is the best idea, but, maybe since it isn't a setup situation, he might do a little better. Runner on 3rd. First batter is Andrew McCutchen, and McCutchen will shoot this one over to 2nd. Simmons has it, but goes home despite the runner not going home, so not a heads-up play. Everybody is safe. And then Colton Wong, the next batter, takes a changeup to right, and this one is out of here. A 3-run shot for the Brewers. The mistake immediately comes back to bite the Cubs as Wong hits his first home run of the season, and Chris Martin's struggles continue. Another long ball given up. 6-0 now in favor of Milwaukee. The next batter, Christian Yelich, up next, gets a 2-2 cutter and drills it to deep left center, and this one is also going to clear the wall. The 2018 NL MVP extends the lead, his second home run of the season, and Martin, I don't know what's happened. He was a former World Series champion last year with the Braves. He can't get through any inning, as it's now 7-0 in favor of the Brewers. We're going to go bottom 9 now. This one is starting to get out of hand. 2 outs. Josh Hader still in the ball game, but we do get one as Frank Schwindel will go opposite field for a solo shot. So the Cubs are on the scoreboard, as it is now 7-1 as Schwindel hits his second home run of the season. And at least the Chicago Cubs won't be shut out as the dugout. Kind of happy about that. Next batter up, Patrick Wisdom, gets a full count pitch, and he drills a slider deep to center. So Chicago goes back-to-back off Josh Hader. Is this now 7-2? But maybe just a little too late, says that'll also do it for Josh Hader. Brent Sutter will come in out of the pen, looking to get the last out of the day for the Brewers. And he'll go up against Seiya Suzuki. And Suzuki will swing at the first pitch, and Sutter will get just that, as this one is flied out to right field. And the Brewers will close the game despite some late inning fireworks by Chicago. Final score 7-2, as both teams have split the first 2 games in this 4-game series. And Milwaukee dominant pitching performance, and the pitching for Chicago still leaves a lot to be desired. 7 on 11 for Milwaukee is 2 for 4 for the Cubs. Peralta gets the win, Hendricks gets the loss, and player of the game goes to Omar Narvaez thanks to his multi-home run day. As like I said, we split the first 2. We go into game 3 of the series. And before we get there, here's Chris Martin's, by the way, 77 overall, quote-unquote, best rating relief pitcher with pretty solid ratings. Don't know why he's had a rough start to his season. Hopefully he can fix that, as we need to rely on him this year. Game 3, we drop 4-0, so this game we do end up getting shut out, as we only had 5 hits. Dominant pitching performance by Lauer in this one. And then in game 4, we do win 8-5, so we split the 4-game series 2-2. This time the offense finally came alive in this one, as Happ had a multi-home run day. And we're now sitting at 3-6 on the young season. We have 2 series coming up next, but I know I said it was going to be this episode, but next episode we will take a look at the minor leagues. I kind of forgot that in this game, AA started their season in April. So instead of just doing AAA opening day, we're going to look at both our AAA and AA squad next episode. Hope you guys are excited for this one. I hope you guys are enjoying the young series. If you are, make sure you drop that like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.